Hello and welcome to today's live broadcast. Please do me a favor in the comment section. Please let me know if you can hear and see me okay. I did a couple of changes to getting our broadcast set up today. So I just want to make sure everyone can hear and see me okay before I get too far into our conversation today. But welcome. If you're joining us new for maybe the first time or you're new to our community, I would like to take just a second or two to introduce myself. My name is Diane. I am a fasting mindset coach. So let me just explain to you really quickly what that means. I really focus as a health and wellness coach for women on the mindset that we create about what it is we say that we want for ourselves. So we talk a lot about intermittent fasting here. We talk a lot about nutrition here. We talk a lot about reversing the signs of aging. And I always like to lead the conversation based on the decisions that we're making and why we're making that. So that's what we're going to be talking about more specifically today when we start talking about the 4 tips. And I have a bonus, so there's actually 5 to help you drop the weight for good. And again, we are going to focus primarily on the decisions that we're making and the mindset that we have around the decisions that we're making, the emotional connection that we have to those decisions as well. So welcome. Okay, so let's go. As always, during the broadcast today, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. At the end, I will go through those for you. So 4 tips to help you drop the weight for good. First tip, the easiest and the most cost-effective way to really focus on losing weight that you're not happy with, especially if you're practicing an intermittent fasting lifestyle, is to increase how much time you are fasting. We know that fasting creates that healing environment for us. Fasting is where we reverse insulin resistance. Fasting is where we really have the opportunity to reverse a lot of the things that just simply over time have backed up on us and are causing us to age in a way that we're not happy with. We know all of the decision making processes around feasting. We know all the confusion in the health and wellness community about what is right about feasting and what is wrong about feasting. And we have so many strangers and experts telling us what we as individuals are supposed to do, and we get confused and we get stressed out and we get discouraged and then we quit. So what I want you to really think about, especially if you're looking into intermittent fasting, is 1, consider increasing how much time you're spending in a fasting state, because that's where we heal the best. And then the other thing I want you to think about if you're considering intermittent fasting is how much trust and confidence do you have in what a fasted state could do for you? Because part of losing weight for good is, again, creating that mindset and that trusting relationship that we have with our body, and the fact that we trust that our body knows what to do and how to heal us and help us lose weight if we just move out of the way and let our body have that opportunity. So the easiest and most cost-effective way to lose weight for good is to simply increase how much time you spend in a fasted state and trust that your body knows what to do when it is fasting if you just move out of the way. The second tip that I have for you to help you lose the weight for good is, again, a super cost-effective way is stop counting calories. I get so many messages in my inbox every single day with women wanting me to tell them how many calories they should be consuming in a day, or if the calories they're consuming is right for them. There is no one that can tell you as a woman how many calories that you need to consume in a day to lose weight, because no one knows. There are so many different factors that come into play with our body when it comes to losing weight, right? It has to do with sleep. It has to do with stress. It has to do with nutritional efficiencies. It has to do with the food choices that you're making. It has to do with how you're thinking and believing about how your body is going to heal itself. There are so many different factors that really have nothing to do with calories that will create a weight loss environment in your body. So please stop counting calories. If you are forcing food down your throat every day, chasing a caloric set point or boundary that you're hoping to achieve and the end result to be the weight loss, I promise you, you're overeating. You are overeating. And this is why so many of us are so frustrated with our body's inability to lose weight. Your body cannot lose weight if you're constantly feeding it and you're never allowing your body to have the opportunity to utilize what you already have in storage and what you're currently consuming in your feasting window. So please let go of this concept. It is not doing you any good. I promise you, it's keeping you in a holding pattern of frustration, and this serves zero purpose. The other thing we want to think about when we think about calories and counting them is that the type of food you're consuming matters more than the how much of the food that you're consuming. So not every calorie is created equal. And we have to remember that when we are in that mindset of counting calories or even burning calories, right? This means nothing. We have to think about the nutritional efficiency that we're providing for our body, right? The opportunity for our body to use things efficiently that we put in it. So stop counting calories is the second tip to help you lose the weight for good. It's just a bunch of mind energy that's going to serve you no purpose. The advice that I give instead of counting calories, so that I don't want you to just stop something and then offer you an alternative, is to really manage and balance out your hunger hormones and understand what the primary purpose of your hunger hormones are. Your hunger hormones being out of balance is why you're having such a hard time losing the weight in the first place, much less keeping it off forever. So if you understand what your hunger hormones job is and you understand what happens when these hormones are out of balance, this is the simplest way to understand how to lose the weight for good, right? So you're going to lose it initially and you're never going to let it come back because you're going to understand what your hormones are doing for you instead of doing against you. The third tip that I have to help you drop the weight for good. And remember, we're talking about the fasting mindset, or the mindset that we need to have and adopt when we're really trying to take care of ourselves, is get clear and honest about what you really want, right? Another one of the messages I get all the time from women is, I really want to lose weight, but I don't want to give up my wine. I don't want to give up my coffee creamer. I don't want to give up this. I don't want to give up this. And I don't want to give up this. So, if all of these things that you don't want to give up are more important than the end effect of you creating an environment in your body where it has the opportunity to lose weight, then what you really want is the wine, the coffee creamer, and all the other things that you're putting as a higher priority over you really wanting to lose weight. And so this is where a lot of women get really emotionally beat up about their inability to lose weight, because it's this constant struggle and constant feeling of failure and constant feeling of self-doubt and constant feeling of just generally not feeling good. And if we get clear and honest about what we really want, losing weight is super simple. It's very simple, because if you put your body as a high priority, if you put your happiness as a higher priority, if you put your health as a higher priority, losing weight will happen on its own. When we stop focusing on those things that we use to satisfy us in a short-lived moment, and we concentrate about what we want in the long term, what we really want is to be happy. What we really want is to be healthy. What we really want is to wake up every morning looking and feeling our best, and doing it in such a way that we can show up as our most authentic self. When you understand that those are the things that you probably really want, even more so than the coffee creamer and the wine and the pasta and all those other things that you're coveting so tightly, when those fall into a different priority in your life, losing weight happens on its own. You just move out of the way and you just enjoy your life, right? So we have to get clear and, more importantly, honest on what it is that we say we want. And I promise you, weight loss happens on its own because your body does not want to be overweight. Your body does not want to be unhealthy. Your body does not want to be fatigued. Your body doesn't want to be depressed. Your body doesn't want all of those things. And so the signs and signals that it's sending you are the things that are weighing you down. If you get clear and honest about what you really want, the weight will go away because it will be really simple for your body to do what its job is, and that's to keep you alive and to keep you healthy. Number 4, my 4th tip to help you drop the weight for good. Remember, we're talking about the mindset to lose weight, is focus on how you feel. Again, I talk all the time in this community about looking and feeling your best, and that your body is sending you signs and signals all day long that are letting you know when things are working for you based on the choices you're making and when things are working against you based on the choices that you're making. If you don't become very, very clear on what those signs and signals are, then I promise you the struggle to lose weight is going to be very real and it's going to be very exhausting. When you focus on, I do these things and I feel this way, and the feel this way are things that are good and energizing and empowering and exciting for you, and you do those things more often, again, your body's going to do what it's been designed to do, and it's going to let go of the weight that it's not comfortable holding. Your body's not comfortable holding extra weight either, which is why you're getting all of these signs and signals to do something different from what you're currently doing. The aim should be to wake up every single morning, plant our 2 feet on the ground, and not even think about it because it's such a natural thing for us because we do it so often. And that is that feeling of looking your best, and yes, feeling your best, and doing it in an effortless way. It's just who you are and how you show up for yourself, putting yourself first, making those decisions that allow you to look and feel your best, right? So focus on how you feel when you do certain things. The more you feel amazing, the better the end result is going to be. If you keep doing things that don't feel good and you don't stop to question those, I promise you it's just going to be a matter of time before your body stops sending you those signs and signals and it just slowly starts to break down. And that's how we age unsuccessfully. That's how we age in a very sick way. We do not want to age in a sick way. We want to age successfully. So get really clear on how it is you feel when you're making certain decisions about the choices you're making for your lifestyle. And the bonus tip for today. So I gave you 4 tips on how to drop the weight for good. Here's your bonus tip. Identify and define what the weight really is. What is the weight that you are trying to lose? Is it really pounds on the scale? Is it really something that someone else has identified as a problem for you that doesn't even have anything to do with the life that you're living? I was just sharing with my husband the other day that it's funny how my body has changed in decades, right? So when I was in my 30s, my body always looked a certain way, give or take seasons of me making different choices. So I always weighed in the upper 140s when I was in my 30s. When I was in my 40s, I was kind of hinkering over the 140 into the 150s. When I was in my 50s, I crossed over the 150 mark, right? And now I'm in that like upper 150. I haven't changed physique wise when I am at my set point weight, right? So whether it was the 40s, in the upper 40s, the low to mid 50s, or the upper 50s, low 60s, right? So I'm probably about upper 150s, lower 160s in my 40s. I'm gonna be, or in my 50s, I'm gonna be 55 in a month. To other people, if you were to scroll through my Facebook page or my Instagram page, physique wise, I look very the same. But there's a 20-pound difference in what I was in my 30s to what I am in my mid 50s. But physique wise, I'm very, very similar. That just goes to show us that what we really are chasing weight wise might not be the reality of the season of life that we're in. And trust me when I say that my 30s, 40s, and 50s, I also weighed in the 180s. I also weighed in the 200s when I was pregnant with my son. So I've also done this throughout the last 20 years as well, right? Where my weight has gone up and my weight has come down. What are you really, really trying to lose when you're so focused on that weight or that thing that shows up when you put your 2 feet on the device that tells us how much gravitational pull we have to this earth? That's really all that weight is. And what if we really focused on creating a happy life for ourselves? What if we really focused on creating consistency for ourselves? What if we really focused on what we see as a healthy version of ourselves for the future? Because trust me, if I focused on the weight that I was in my 30s before I had kids, before I was married, before I'm living the life that I'm living now, I would make myself absolutely miserable and slightly crazy trying to chase something that's not part of who I am as a woman today in my mid 50s. So identify and define what the weight really is that you're trying to get rid of. Is that realistic for the woman you are today? Is it realistic for you being happy in the skin that you're living in today? Is it realistic for you showing up as your most authentic self for yourself and for the people that you love and spend the most time with? I would be miserable. I would be crazy feeling. My family would be miserable. They would feel crazy if I tormented myself trying to chase something from 20 years ago that is no longer part of the woman that I am today. So make sure you're identifying and defining what this weight really is that's keeping you so unhappy and making you feel like you're constantly having to buy into someone else's idea of what it is that you should be weighing, whatever season of life you're in. The other thing I want to throw into this little bonus section here, because of the time of the year that we're in. So here we're, entering spring, we're heading into the summertime, and this is when all of the really fancy marketing ploys are out there for weight loss programs. Please trust me when I tell you that no one can promise you that you are going to lose X amount of weight in X amount of days. That is just not true. That is very, very false advertising. No one can ever promise you that you're going to lose weight. When I talk to you guys here in this community about intermittent fasting or a keto-like lifestyle or learning how to train smart, it is always under the premise that I want you to look and feel your best and live your most authentic life, defined by you. What does you showing up, looking, and feeling your best mean for you? I can't promise you that you're going to lose a certain amount of weight. I can't promise you you're going to wear a certain pair of jeans. I don't even know what size jeans you're wearing today, right? So be careful with all of the tricky marketing tactics that are out there to get you to buy a diet program that will only last as long as you're willing to follow those rules by a T, right? And I've told you guys here before that I've done those things before myself. I always get really amazing results. I can get anyone here in this community to lose weight or change the way their physique looks by following any diet that's out there. You bring me a diet, tell me how much you want to change your body, and I promise you I can get you to make that happen for yourself. But I can only promise you that those results will stick for as long as you're willing to follow that for the exact same way that you did to lose or make the change in the beginning. As soon as you stop something that has worked for you, the results will go away. So how do you drop the weight for good? You first have to figure out and understand that yes, being in a fasted state is going to help you lose that weight for sure, because it's the other alternative is feasting, and that hasn't worked very well for us. So if you're really interested in losing weight, I highly recommend understanding the chemical process and changes that happen when you're in a fasted state. The second thing, again, super, super cost effective for us and very simple on our brain taxing, right, is stop counting calories. Calories mean nothing to us. Calories mean nothing going in. Calories mean nothing coming out. Calories are not what is causing us to gain and or even lose weight, because all calories are created differently. So you have to really understand what's happening with your hunger hormones, get those under control. Your hunger hormones are causing you to either store weight as fat or utilize weight in a fat burning type of atmosphere. So understand your hunger hormones. Number 3, get clear and honest about what you really want. If you want to have your wine every night, there's nothing wrong with that. But you have to understand you are not going to be able to lose weight in the same way that you'll be able to if you're not drinking that wine every night. That's all we have to understand and be really honest with ourselves about. And then I want you to start focusing on how you feel. Physically, how you feel, mentally how you're feeling about the choices that you're making, and emotionally how you're feeling. If you can feel great, think great, and then really process what all of that means emotionally for yourself, I promise you will not have a weight problem, because again, you'll make the choices based on what it is you really want for yourself. And then the last bonus is identify and define what the weight really is. What is that weight that you're trying to chase, and why are you trying to chase it? And is it realistic for the woman that you are today? Everything we do here in this community is for our future self, for our tomorrows. We don't focus on the things that we had in the past, because they probably weren't serving you very well anyway, right? So those are my 4 tips to drop the weight for good. Notice I talked mostly about thinking, right? I didn't talk about what you can and can't do. I didn't talk about what kind of food you're supposed to eat. I didn't talk about any of those things. I talked about how it is you're thinking about what it is you're chasing, what it is you're buying into, and then figure out why it is you're doing those things, and then create a lifestyle for yourself that will help you make that happen. Yes, I do teach a course on this. It's our Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman course. I teach you how to understand how your body works from a chemical and hormonal standpoint, so that you can really figure out what that weight is that you're trying to lose realistically while you're living a happy and healthy lifestyle, right? So we want to lose the weight for good, but we can't do it until we understand how our body is working. Okay, so let me see who we have here today with us. Now's a great time to put your comments in the comment section. I'll get them answered for you. Linda, thanks so much for hanging around with us. I know you were here a little earlier. Amy, good to have you. Fran, what about medications? Is taking meds breaking my fast? Okay, so medication is one of those things that's always super tricky. And it's one of those things that should not trip us up, right? There's so many reasons to be in a fasted state. If you're fasting to heal your body and you have to take a prescription medication from your doctor, you always have to work with your doctor and let your doctor know what you're doing. Remember, making healthy lifestyle changes while you're on a lifestyle controlling type of medication will yield you what I call the double positive effect. So you have to make sure that your doctor is monitoring your prescription with the changes that you're making, so that you don't end up getting a double effect. You want to hopefully eventually reduce your medication, and then you can increase what it is you're doing good in your lifestyle. The goal is to get off of medication. Don't let medication be the thing that's tripping you up and holding you back in your mindset. Trust me, what you're doing in your feasting choices and how you're feeling in your fasted state are going to be the things that are going to drive the best results once you understand what your body is doing. And then you just have to manage your medication from there as well. But medication, don't let that be the thing that's holding you back, for sure. And then Jeannie Beans, hello, girlfriend. Bonita, hello from Michigan. Patty, girlfriend, good to see you. Christine, not counting calories is so freeing. Yes, and it is the biggest waste of time, both mentally, it's wasting our time. Emotionally, it's wasting our time. Physically, it's wasting our time. And it's very, very expensive to do, because I promise you that if you are counting calories, which we know doesn't work anyway, you're overeating. And when you're overeating, you're stopping your body's ability to reset your own metabolic burn rate. When your metabolic burn rate goes up and you have weight to lose or you have fat to lose, and you are putting calories in that are too much for your body, then your body lowers its metabolic burn rate, which means you're overeating and slowing down your metabolism. So stop counting calories, manage your hunger hormones. When you feel satiated, that's the sign and signal your body's telling you that you've had enough to eat. Then just stick to a really good fasting and feasting protocol, and everything will balance itself out. So no more counting calories. Christine, hello, girlfriend. I think you're from Colorado, is what you said. Patty, drinking black coffee and I didn't die. It is so worth it. I also love seeing my glucose and ketone numbers. Yeah. So Patty is a second time student of my intermittent fasting class. The first time, I think, Patty, you can correct me if I'm wrong, she went through class and didn't give up some of the things in her fasting window and didn't get as good of results. The second time she went through class, she trusted herself and she went all in. And her results the second time have been absolutely amazing. So remember, again, programs that are designed to have you think, right? If you don't go in and trust the process and trust that your body's going to be okay because other people have done it before you and they've been okay, then you're going to cheat yourself out of getting the maximum benefit. So I always recommend anytime you invest in you and improving your overall health and well-being or improving your life, do yourself a favor and go all in. Just go all in. You can always make changes after the fact, but if you cheat yourself on the front end and you don't go all in and you don't go in trusting the process, knowing thousands of women have gone before you, you've just cheated yourself. You just discounted the process. So always go all in for sure. Lori from West Virginia, veggie fueled biking. Hello from Sarah in Missouri. I have been watching many of your videos and absorbing so much info and encouragement from you. Thank you for having these here for us. Yeah, for sure. I'm always here to help you guys. And then Jeannie Beans 25. Is it weird that I never stopped and focused on how I felt after eating food until I heard you say that a while ago? I definitely feel bad after eating sugar within the hour. Yeah, because your body doesn't want that sugar. So when and what I want you to also pay attention to, Jenny, is, I hope Jenny's your first name, is that when we feel, we notice how bad sugar and our body react to one another. When we consume sugar and we're emotionally and mentally checked out, so we're using sugar as a numbing agent, we don't feel that because we're checked out. And that's when we use sugar as a drug or coping mechanism. So feeling the bad effects of food is the first step to really, or I guess I should point right there, losing the weight for good, right? Because then we make the association between the food choices that we make, why we're making them, and how they make us feel. Oftentimes we skip even those first two steps, right? We're not even making the decision based on why it is we're making food choices. We do it with no thought in mind, and it's a feeling we're trying to stuff down with a food chemical reaction. So congratulations to you for making the association between sugar and you not feeling good. That's a win for sure. Barrett, hello from France. Question, how can I get back into IF during lockdown? I'm still keto, but I think I eat too much protein. I am not a snacker. I gained 40 pounds. Okay, so Lori, I'm going to be very honest with you here and just have you think about this. Being in lockdown doesn't make us gain weight. Being in a pandemic doesn't make us gain weight. Stress doesn't make us gain weight. None of those things make us literally gain weight. What makes us gain weight is the choices we make during those situations. So for everyone who gained weight because of what has been going on in our world and being locked down or in a pandemic or having maybe just things taken away from you, if you gained weight, it's because of the choices you allowed your brain to make about the situation. Has nothing to do with your body gaining weight other than you making choices about a situation and checking out and using food for the wrong reasons. So the best way to lose pandemic weight or COVID weight or lockdown weight is to stop using food as a means to pacify time or soothe a bad day, or using food as a thing that's going to quick fix a problem that food doesn't fix. Once you make that association in your brain, then the weight will come off for sure. If you're doing well with keto, then stay with keto for sure. But intermittent fasting and being in a lockdown have nothing to do with each other. They're totally separate things. You can make a choice to intermittent fast regardless of what's going on around you. It's just choosing 2 windows in your 24-hour day to fast and feast. That's it. Nothing else should interrupt that. And then if you're eating too much protein, you got to run a test on that. Just cut back on the protein for sure. You'll be able to lose those 40 pounds once you go through the things I shared with you today. Increase your fasting window, right? What do we talk about? Increase your fasting window. Make sure I don't go out of order here. Stop counting calories. So maybe just eat less when you're in your feasting window. Get clear and honest about what you really want, or maybe for you in this situation is what's really going on in your life, right? And does being in a lockdown make you 4 pounds, or could you make some better choices? And then focus on how you feel. If you're not feeling good, then you got to create some new choices so you'll feel better. Denise, hello, girlfriend. Kid Zone, hello. This is Rhonda from Clubhouse. Hey, Rhonda, it's good to see you, girlfriend. Barrett, does water really help to lose weight? Water doesn't necessarily help you lose weight. Water makes you feel full. Water keeps you hydrated and it keeps your electrolytes balanced out. So the feeling of not having food present is a different feeling. You won't feel frantic about eating, and you'll keep your energy levels up, and you'll keep your body balanced out just by keeping yourself hydrated and keeping your electrolytes up. And then also there's that natural detox process as well. So I guess once you get healthier on the inside, you'll be able to lose weight. Jackie, no more counting calories. No more counting calories. Patty, thinking about what we eat, I do feel bad when I eat sugar, and I have been without it now for 3 weeks. I don't crave it or even want to eat it. I am even tasting more sugar in regular food and thinking I don't like it anymore, and look for no sugar alternatives. Yeah, so just the thing to remember about no sugar alternatives is as there's a lot of alternatives out there for like sweeteners and those kind of things, which are actually worse than sugar. So really just find good food that you can rotate in and out of your life that that has the best ingredients in it. So if you're looking for things that have less sugar or sugar alternatives and you're reading an ingredients label, just be very careful about what you're picking in those sugar alternatives, because some of them are actually worse than sugar. Susie, thank you, Diane. This was so helpful. The bonus chasing, how exhausting. Why would I ever believe that I would weigh the same at 52 as I did at 42? My expectations are so off. Yeah, for sure, girlfriend. Our body just changes. That's like thinking that your newborn's going to weigh the same at a year, or a 1-year-old's going to weigh the same at 3 years old. No, our body's constantly changing, and for good reason, right? And so the weight I was in my 20s and my 30s that was a realistic weight for that time and the life that I was living during that time. It is not the same life that I'm living today. So if you're gonna compare apples to apples, make sure you're comparing apples to apples. I would have to recreate that lifestyle that I lived in my 30s to be able to maintain that weight in my 30s, and I would have to do exactly the same thing. And today, for me, that would be absolutely miserable. And I don't want to give up my kids, and I definitely don't want to give up my husband, and I don't want to give up this life that I've created for myself. I absolutely love it. So does that mean I weigh a little more? Yep, that's okay. And I'm totally okay with that, because I'm very realistic about how it is I'm showing up for myself. And I'm very clear and I'm very honest about what it is I say I really want. That's the key right there. What do you really want? When you can define that and you can see it, then it's super, super easy to achieve it. Jeannie Beans, glad I found you. You gave me aha moments. Was also slim until I got to perimenopause, working on losing 20 pounds by listening to your videos. Jelly Bean, remember this, or Jenny Bean. Why do I call you Jelly Bean? Jenny Bean, remember this. Go for how you feel first. Go for what makes sense for your life first. When you feel good, you do better. When you do better, you just show up and make better decisions, right? So go for how you feel first. Don't focus on that 20 pounds. See what happens when you clearly and honestly define for yourself what it is you say you want. Go for how you feel. Pay attention to the signs and signals your body's sending you when you're making decisions. Girlfriend, if you never lost 20 pounds and you felt absolutely amazing, and you felt and looked good in your own skin, 20 pounds is irrelevant for sure. Trust me, you won't even focus on it. Sandra tuned in from the UK and enjoying it all. Girlfriend, so good to have you. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Okay, so I hope today's video showed you, or maybe have you thinking a different way about how you're going to go about the rest of your life. You have to be clear about what it is you say you really want for your life, or you're going to spend your life chasing an unrealistic body image that you're hoping for, or chasing an unrealistic weight. And trust me when I tell you this, please trust me when I tell you this, so you don't come back and tell me that it happened to you. You're going to miss your life. You're going to miss your life trying to find something that you think is going to bring you happiness that doesn't have anything to do with you being happy. You're happy first. You're always, always, always striving to become happy first. And then we deal with what's going on in our body. And I promise you, the more you focus on how you feel, the more you really clearly define what it is you really want, the more you focus on you just being happy with you and the skin that you're in and all the blessings that you have around you, it's so much easier to lose weight. It's so much easier to keep the weight off, and it's so much easier to focus your time, your attention, and your emotions on the things in life that are really important. The things in life that are really important have nothing to do with how much you weigh. Trust me when I tell you that, right? Focus on you, focus on being happy, define what you really want, and I promise you it'll get there. We do have our next Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman course starting on April 3rd. This is the stuff I focus on in class. I get you to think for yourself. I get you to identify choices and how those things make you feel, and then reconsider alternatives so that you can have a different outcome. We don't focus on weight at all in class because the weight doesn't matter. What matters is you showing up as your best self. So if you're interested in joining us, I would love to have you. All the registration information is in the description box of both Facebook and YouTube. And if you get on my email list, I'll start emailing you and letting you know when our course is starting up, probably in the next week or so. I want you guys to be happy. I want you guys to be healthy, and I want you showing up as your best self. And that really does happen when we change the focus about how it is we're showing up for ourselves every single day. I love you guys. Thanks for joining me. We will continue this conversation about how to lose weight on Wednesday at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. And tomorrow on my Instagram page at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, I'm going to talk about metabolic flexibility and some tools you can start utilizing to help you really understand what's going on in your body chemistry. So if you don't follow me on Instagram yet, you can go to the description box. You can find that as well, or always feel free to DM me and I'll get you all the information about how to follow me over on Instagram also. Take care of yourselves, you guys. We have a very short time here in our life, right? We don't want to spend it chasing unrealistic things. We want to be present, we want to be happy, and we want to be healthy. And that really does start when we focus on how it is we're feeling and how it is we're showing up for ourselves. Let me see. Shauna from Mexico from January 2021. Absolutely love IF and this community. I dropped 20 pounds from December, but I was more aware of my feasting choices, not so much the weight, and it did just come off. Okay, so Shauna is a graduate from our January 2021 course. She loves IF, so you can love intermittent fasting. It's a super simple way to live your life. She dropped 20 pounds from December, so she was able to lose the weight, but she didn't focus on losing the weight. She was more aware of her feasting choices and how those made her feel, and the weight just came off. She didn't have to focus on it. And that is what I can promise you will happen when you jump into our intermittent fasting course and you come back here and check in with us in our community. You won't focus on the weight. Your body will just let it go because it doesn't want to hold on to it either. We got to stop thinking for our body and let our body think for itself. Okay, I'll see you guys here on Wednesday. Always feel free to check in with me on Instagram. I love hearing from you guys. Have a great rest of your night, and I'll see you either tomorrow on Instagram or back here Wednesday on YouTube and Facebook.